Heart failure is a dreadful disease that takes a lot from your life. For some of us, it can feel like a life sentence. My family and friends would describe me as somebody who is very funny, who is energetic, and I am a go-getter. If I set goals, then I am very determined. I was a student at university. I had just graduated from my undergrad program and was really looking forward to becoming a new mom. I would say that the worst symptoms actually came in the third trimester, towards the end of the 7th month. Some of the symptoms I was experiencing were increased tiredness and shortness of breath. I was not sleeping because I could not lie down at all. And then it was always like there's an elephant sitting on your chest. You can't breathe. The GP said to me that it just seems like you're anxious about the upcoming birth. My GP said he would make an appointment for me to see a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist told me this is not anxiety. Immediately, she sent me to get an echo done. When she saw that I was in severe active heart failure, she came running and she said, "Emergency right now."
Peripartum cardiomyopathy is a weakening of the heart muscle in the period around childbirth and delivery. Peripartum cardiomyopathy differs from other forms of heart failure because it is very specific to women. The symptoms can be mimicked by pregnancy. For example, swelling in the legs, breathlessness, retaining fluid. These are all things that oftentimes happen in the late stages of pregnancy, but are also associated with peripartum cardiomyopathy, making the diagnosis particularly difficult to make.
They had taken me into the operating room. They took the baby out and the placenta was already low on oxygen. It had started to change color. My heart was slowly gonna die. So in order to relieve that stress, they had to put me in an induced coma and life support at that point. My husband was really torn because he's the first-time father and he's holding the baby at one moment, but his wife is in another room dying and he's not sure whether she's gonna make it. I woke up 7 or 8 days later. I was informed that I had peripartum cardiomyopathy. I would say that even though the disease was dreadful, and I knew I was very, very, very sick, but there was hope that I'm gonna get better.
The interventions that we had to offer her were really quite aggressive, and it was in the acute stages of her disease. Thankfully, she was in an environment that was able to support her complex heart failure needs.
Hi, Dr.
Hey,
Pirani.
how are you? Nice to see you.
Long time no see.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How long has it been? And some deep breaths. Again. Great. So no extra fluid.
Yeah, the lungs sound great.
And do you have any symptoms of heart failure anymore?
You know, I'm active in my life. I'm working, I'm a mom, and I'm in the house, and I'm cooking, and I'm doing all my hobbies.
Navneet's heart failure journey was complex, but underscores some of the common challenges that women can have when they get sick with heart failure. Lack of recognition of symptoms, difficulty accessing appropriate care, and challenges in diagnosis.
Being given a diagnosis such as heart failure does affect you in a lot of different ways, emotionally, physically, every way.
Have you seen that before?
No. My first year of being a parent, especially for the first 3 months, were very difficult. This was the time that I was not in my daughter's life at all because I was back and forth in the hospital.
I answered her.
Yeah,
I answered
good
her
job.
BBC.
Seeing my daughter grow all these years into a young woman who herself is full of hopes and dreams keeps me going.
You're cute. No.
I really look up to my mom. She's honestly probably one of the most inspirational women I've ever met. Her ability to withstand everything, because obviously you go through something so traumatic, but she wakes up every day and goes through every day with a smile. It's honestly amazing all she does.
One thing I didn't see then that's really come out now is just the internal strength, how strong she is. She's gonna live her life and the illness is not gonna control her.
What stood out to me about Navneet's case was just how easily someone could fall through the cracks in the absence of having a system that is responsive to their needs. Closing the gap in women's heart health is paramount to ensuring equity.
What I've learned about listening to your body is that your body talks. Your body is not a silent object. It talks, every organ talks. So when you have symptoms, even if they are small, you should go see a doctor. My whole life changed when someone listened to me. I'm alive because someone listened to me.